Okay, so I've never done a video blog and I haven't blogged in a really long time, so I'm going to try to do this so that it's not such a burden and I don't hate having to blog. Hopefully this will get me kick-started back into blogging. Um, I was gone for about a month and a day, not too long ago, and I had a very eventful trip. I played a little bit of poker. Um, didn't do very well playing poker. I played live PLO in Evansville and in Louisville. I'll give you a quick synopsis of what I did on my trip. So I went from Vegas to Louisville, and there I met John and Whitney, who traveled from New York. We stayed with Landon and just for a couple days. From there we went to Kentucky Lake to Landon's parents' lake house, and Anne met us at the lake house. She drove from Evansville. Um, Great times are had by all. Good food cooked by Roxanne. Um, Spent time with Andy and Sherry Swan's children, Ava and Roland. Um, from there we went to, Ann and I went back to Evansville. Just hung out with friends and went to all my must-go-tos while I was home, like Tironi's, Los Bravos, Hacienda. I'm sure I'm missing some stuff that I always have when I'm in Evansville. Anyway, from Evansville, I went on a quick random trip to Chicago to watch Jeff play. He played in the BMW third round of the FedEx Cup playoffs for the PGA. While we were there, Andy Lightoff went with me, and we stayed with my friend Jimmy from Vegas. He lives in Chicago. He's from Chicago. We stayed at his parents' house, and he warned us when we got there that it was late at night, and he said, I just want to let you know, my parents live here, but also my 104-year-old grandmother lives here too. Well, obviously I did not believe him that his grandma was 104 years old, but as it turns out, she is actually 104 years old and does not speak any English, but you could tell she was very sharp. She was probably 5 foot tall, and she speaks all Greek, but she was joking around. Jimmy said, watch this, I'm going to tell her in Greek that I told you she was 84 years old. Well, when he told her that, she laughed and told him to tell me that she can't even remember what 84 years old was like. So it was really crazy to meet a 104-year-old person and for her to be sharp. So from Evansville, or from Chicago, I went back to Evansville. And then from Evansville, I went to Louisville to play a little poker. And then I went and played tennis with Landon. We gambled on tennis. He beat me the first match, but the second match he gave me the devil's lanes, and that was way too big of a spot. I beat him and we broke even. Then the next day, Landon's friend Scott Buckley had a cookout housewarming for the new house he just finished, and we played cornhole there, and Lane and I were partners, and I believe we went 10-0. For sure we did not lose a game, but I don't know how many we played. From Louisville, I went back to Evansville, and while I was in Evansville, Anne backed her car into my mom's car, which was parked in her driveway. So during this trip to Evansville, we got the car situation taken care of. Had to replace Anne's bumper for the second time in 3 weeks, I think. She was also in an accident on the Lloyd Expressway earlier. Then from Evansville that time, I went to West Virginia for Justin's bachelor party. We went whitewater rafting. It was class 5 rapids, and it was one of the most fun things I've ever done. It was very dangerous, much more dangerous than skydiving was, in my opinion. But we had really good guides, and they did a good job keeping us out of trouble. But apparently the week after we were there, someone did die in the same rapids we went through. Actually, it was a rapid that Andy Lightoff fell out and was trapped underneath the boat for, they say, 15 or 20 seconds, but I wasn't in his boat, so that could be exaggerated. So then we came back, and on the way there we met Kevin, my little brother, in Louisville, and just dropped his car off there. Actually, we dropped our car off, took Kevin's car there. On the way home, we went back to where we dropped our car off, sent Kevin back to Bloomington, and we went back to Evansville. Well, as we got back to Evansville, I realized I'd left all of my money and credit cards in Kevin's glove compartment. Well, this was at like 8 p.m. I had to leave on a flight at 10 a.m. the next day. So I set my alarm for about midnight and then drove from Evansville to Bloomington, picked up my money, drove from Bloomington back to Evansville, packed, and boarded my plane a few hours later to go to Florida. And in Florida I met Anne and childhood friend Jan and her husband Chris and some of their friends Stacy and John. We also got to go to the Ryden's house, who I was neighbors with. I just realized I might have been saying a lot. I'm going to try to avoid doing that because I hate when people do video blogs and I say the word a lot. Anyway, we went to the Rydens. They were neighbors when I was growing up. I was best friends with John, their son, and they have since moved to Florida because Jan has kids there. There's again. You're probably wondering about my glasses. I'm getting LASIK eye surgery on December 4th, so I have to not wear my contacts. They said 1 week, but since I never take my contacts out, they suggested 2 weeks. I'm going to wear glasses for 3 weeks just because my contacts that I had were not the right prescription. They've been giving me lots of headaches when I played poker. The glasses fix that, but LASIK will really fix that. Also in Florida, I went deep sea fishing with Charlie and Matt and Ryan and my buddy Fritz that I went to school with at Union. And it was very successful. We caught lots of grouper. Each of us caught a barracuda, and some of us caught king mackerel fish. I did not catch a king mackerel, but I caught the other two. Then from there, from Florida, I went to Bakersfield, California. And in Bakersfield, I played golf with Eric and saw his new son. That was a very good time. So from there, I went back to Vegas. Eric's new son is named Carter Ethan Steinbach. And I treat him like he's my nephew. Anyway, from there I went back to Vegas, and I was gone a month and a day. I hardly played any poker, and I was ready to get back to the grind. So when I got back to Vegas, it was very slow going, and I was not making hardly any progress. I'd won, like $5,000 in a month and a half since I'd been back. Well, yesterday I chopped the $215 heads-up tournament on PokerStars for $14,000 something, and I did really well in some cash games, and I ended up having my second best poker day ever when I won just over $17,000, $17,647 I believe. So that was a very nice boost to my bankroll and confidence. It makes me feel like I wasn't wasting the last month and a half. So as it turns out, I've done pretty well in the last month and a half since I've been back, which is good. And other exciting news, my girlfriend Anne is going to be moving out here to live with me at my new house in Vegas sometime after the first of the year. We haven't picked a for sure date, but I'm very excited about that. And also, I will be home for Christmas briefly. Then I'm going to Prague with my family. My dad and stepmom, brother, his fiance are meeting my stepsister in Prague, who lives there now. Then I'm coming back to Evansville, and my friend Justin Wright has his wedding, in which I'm the best man on New Year's Eve. I'm also excited about that. Not too excited about doing the toast. I'm not too big into public speaking. In fact, just doing this makes my armpits sweat a little bit. I don't know why, but doing it in front of a live audience will be 1,000,000 times worse. I do not think that I have too much else to say, so I will end this right now. And it appears it is almost 10 minutes long, so I'm out.